Hello, welcome to Jason the Millennial. I am Jason. I am in my basement in the great state of Kansas. This is my second live stream today. I did an earlier one today
Oh,
uh,
busy.
about our album exchange. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
back again, this time with a special guest. First time guest, we got Sin from YouTube channel Sin's Corner.
Yep.
There she is. And Sin, you have this special, what do I want to say? You are the first woman on my channel.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I've never had a woman guest, so
Oh, I feel so honored.
you get that honor. Yeah, you get that honor of being the first female guest on the channel.
Awesome. I'm a trailblazer.
Exactly. Say you broke you broke the glass ceiling. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, it was funny is I don't really talk to a lot of females. Most of the people I know on YouTube are males.
Yeah.
There's a
Actually,
handful.
same for me. Most of my YouTube buddies are guys. Uh,
Yeah,
and there's a few like Lisa Loves. I
I say
communicate with
Lisa.
her a lot. Yeah.
Um,
She's probably
uh,
one of the main ones. There's others that I've been on streams with, other fellow YouTube movie lovers who are women that I like the twins on the double featured podcast, I think is the name of their podcast. But yeah, most of the people that I interact with about the stuff, that my channel is based on are guys. So
yeah. The only reason why there's more seems like more guys, at least on YouTube. Yeah, more guys about. And you said you too.
yep.
Most guys are doing reviews than women. I guess is that.
Yeah, I think so, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the nerd aspect that
Yeah,
kind of comes with people that love this type of thing and maybe guys more gravitate towards. I have no idea. Um,
it must be something.
no.
I'm assuming. You know, like I grew up watching, Ebert and Roper and
Yeah,
Ebert and
yeah. Mhm.
Siskel and Ebert and Roper. Yeah, mostly guys.
Before it was Siskel, that's right, because it was Siskel and Ebert.
Hmm.
And then Siskel passed away first, and
Yeah,
then it was Ebert and Roper. That's
Ebert and
right.
Roper for quite a while, and then he
Yeah.
got too sick to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the movie reviewers I listen to are probably guys. I don't know why that is.
Same.
And
Same. Jeremy Johns is one of my favorites. He's so much fun.
oh, he's one of my favorites.
He's so
Ever made.
much fun to watch. His
Oh, yeah,
little, I don't know. He's great. And of course, my more closer circle of YouTube buddies, I really enjoy D Movie Man.
yeah,
Obviously Mike and Elliot,
yeah,
but I just like watching people talk about movies because I love stories and it makes me excited about storytelling. Just it's like it just generates this buzz of excitement and happiness in me to listen to reviews, listen to people talk about movies, and yeah, it makes me happy. One of my favorite things.
got Mike in the comments here.
Oh, hey Mike. Yeah. You don't know this already? I thought I'd been pretty vocal about my favorite band. Um, I'll answer it. Yeah, it's my favorite band of all time is Aha from Norway.
Oh, aha, okay.
Aha. In fact, if I had been one of the winners of your Oscar thing, I was going to ask you to go through their discography. Aha
Oh,
is
fun.
they have fantastic music, and surprisingly, their later music is more my favorite than the
Okay.
stuff that they like. I love Take on Me. Obviously, that's just that's one they're the most known for. But they have other great hits from the '80s. But Take on Me was just like such a it was just so groundbreaking and everything. But they are known for many other things, and just like Robbie Williams, the rest of the world hasn't forgotten them. They know who they are. So yeah, as far as my favorite singer might be, yeah, this is fun. I always liked interacting with Jason, and then he gave me the invite to be on his channel. So of course, yes, I would love to. My favorite singer, oof. Um maybe Michael Jackson. Selena, my favorite female singer, Selena.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll break it down. My favorite Spanish band would be Los Buques. They're not really officially together anymore, though they have gone on tour. So anyway, I've got these different sort of subsectioned, but probably favorite band of all time. Ah, yep.
Well, Sin, when we met probably a couple years ago. I don't know.
Was it
Uh,
on one of Mike's?
it's got to be on Mike's
Has
channel.
to be.
Has to be. That's usually where I meet people. It's
Yeah.
on the Z Talks.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I've been on like a bunch in a row. I'm,
They're always so much fun.
oh yeah, they're the greatest. I love being on Z Talks with Mike and getting to meet other people and collaborate.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah, and I don't know when that was. How long you been on that Z Talks? Uh,
I don't remember the first time.
I
It's been at least 2 to 3 years. I was in this office when I started appearing on Z Talks
uh,
because, in late 2020, I transitioned from my original location to this new office that I have in our house.
okay.
So it's been at least since 21. Maybe it started in 22. Mike will probably remember, but he's had so many people on his channel, he might not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably in 22 that I started first appearing on the Z Talk,
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
So,
And
top 3
when
years.
did I first find out about Mike? Was it maybe the rubber ducky? Was it the rubber ducky?
Really?
That's when I first was introduced to Lisa Loves, was the Rubber Ducky Awards. The
Uh,
second, I think it might have been the first annual Rubber Ducky Awards was when I noticed Lisa, and I cannot remember if I already knew of Mike then because I thought he was on there. I can't remember if Dee was on the first one. That's been a lot of fun too. Those circles. Excuse my dogs.
every, every video, I hear your dogs. It's hilarious.
I know. It's like a second ago, Chibi was scratching the seat. I was like, Chibi.
So
Well, I think
my
I've been
videos.
putting up a lot of reviews. My
Yeah, you put.
latest review was for the Amateur, which I saw
Yeah,
last weekend. I didn't know anything. Oh, you did. Okay, all right. Oh, I did. I because I have said it so many times to so
yeah. I
many
didn't know
people.
either.
Part of me thought you were being a little bit like sarcastic, as if like she's only said it 50 million times. Like my favorite movie of all time, I've only said it 50 million times. So that's how I read it. Z Talks. Okay, I want to say probably mine was too.
August 18th,
How
2022.
did you pull that up so quick, Mike?
Yeah, how did you?
He might have a spreadsheet. I bet he does. Like
Maybe.
spreadsheet, keep everybody organized.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I don't remember exactly when met you, but I must have seen you on Z Talks, and that's how I see people. And usually, when I see them on Z Talks, something like that, I'll click on them and subscribe to them
Yeah, same.
videos. And so I probably started watching your videos and commented on them, and you replied to my comments. So then that's kind of how we first probably kind of met.
Yeah.
And we've been on Z Talks together.
Hmm.
I think we've collaborated on there.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, and I love your channel. You have a great
Oh,
channel.
thank you. You're very sweet.
I feel like it's funny. I watch your channel. I feel gosh, she's like a legit like movie reviewer. I'm just like an amateur, and like she's like almost a professional. Like
I don't feel legit. I just feel like somebody who likes it. So I am an official with official critic with
yeah,
the Georgia Film Critics Association,
right,
GAFCA, and my pie in the sky. I don't know that I'll ever get there, but my pie in the sky is Critics' Choice.
yeah,
My next goal
that'd be awesome.
is Rotten Tomatoes critic. I got 10,000 subscribers to go before I can
Oh,
qualify to be a Rotten
I
Tomatoes
was gonna say I
critic.
didn't know what the qualifications were. Okay,
It's at least 30,000. I can't remember whatever else, but that's like one of the big ones. So that's what I'm aiming for. Fish Jelly, I'm going to join you hopefully in about 10 years.
here,
But I don't feel super I don't feel super professional because I don't read from a script like a lot of the professionals do. They have a script, they do their thing. But
Yeah,
Jason, I don't have time to
yeah,
write up a script
yeah.
and get like you know, a teleprompter. I did that a long time ago. Under under the alias that I use in the world of audiobooks and publishing. I
Uh,
did used to do that, but I got maybe 2 or 3 movie reviews in and it was just too much because I have a day job. I work in audiobooks.
right. Yeah.
So I just could not, but I wanted to talk about movies and stories and stuff. And so I was like, well, you know what? Surprisingly, Grace Randolph was one of my inspirations to start doing reactions to trailers. And
Uh,
then I slowly started just talking about movies, and that formula has remained the same. Typically what I do is I take notes. I'll just write down notes, just quick little notes as I'm watching a movie. Yes, I do use my phone, but I am very covert about it. So I
okay.
don't disturb it. Nobody has ever said anything to me. I'm not obnoxious with it or anything. I write notes. I come home, I put the notes up on my monitor, and I just kind of use them as bullet points to keep me on track. But everything I say, it's not scripted, it's just off the top of my head. So therefore, I don't feel very professional.
Well, like you said, that's interesting. Yeah, because you obviously, yeah, you still got a level to go to. I first, for me, it's like, man, I would love to get to your level where I'm like getting screeners or whatever, uh, and all that. It seems like, and you're part of a critics association sometimes.
Yeah. You
Uh,
might check to see if you can, you know, like I think I mentioned this before, maybe
yeah,
see if there's any, like if there's a critics association in your state, uh, you can maybe reach out to them. You know, they might have, you know, everyone is different.
they got qualification.
Um, yeah, there's different qualifications. Like with GAFCA, I just said, hey, mailing address in Georgia, can I join? And they basically were like, they just they accepted me. They didn't even formally tell me. They just like, oh, yeah, okay, well, you're on the list now. Like they didn't say you're approved or next
Huh.
thing I knew, I was just there. I was, and
Okay.
then from that, if you can join a critics group in your state, if they're like someone that's integrated nationally, then you get put on these lists. Like I can't remember the name, Allied something, and you get put on these lists and you start getting then screeners. And it really um hits hard around award season. Like end of the year, you start getting bombarded. Like it's too much. It's too much.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, and I don't know why they were doing this with me. They start sending you stuff.
Yeah. I
They
remember you
start sending you merch.
merch.
Like, so I got this big heavy book of Rustin from back when Rustin was up for awards,
Yeah.
and the big thing for Maestro, big huge heavy book. Like that thing is that could be a weapon, that freaking thing.
I remember you
And
showing that, yeah. So,
it's heavy. It feels like it's 10 to 15
uh,
pounds. Super heavy.
none of us
And
movie too.
it's just like it's wow. I've gotten I got that movie Naiad. They sent me a beach blanket and a water bottle.
Okay.
It was like, wow, okay.
I think that's cool. Like I would love that person to be like, "Wow, I got this stuff."
I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, it's like I know what you're doing. You're
You're
trying
right.
to buy a vote. Is what you're doing. Number one, I can't. The only thing I can vote on is in Georgia. So why are you wasting your money sending me all these things? Georgia doesn't vote in the Oscars. Anyway, it just blows my mind the money that they spend on this. Okay, 23. Why did I feel like it had been longer than 2 years?
So you've been there 2 years.
Wow. Okay. I thought maybe for sure. I know I knew you as long as 2022 though. Yeah. That was probably the first time
Oh,
we officially met,
oh,
Jason.
okay. We're both on
Mhm.
the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cuz I do remember. I'm pretty sure I have a memory of meeting you on Mike's stream.
Okay.
With
See.
your job, are you a voice artist? No, I don't mind you asking questions at all. So, I did start doing audiobook narration in early 2016. I love stories, love audiobooks, and I was like, let me try my hand at this. And I mostly did nonfiction because that's easier. You don't have to act in nonfiction. You just have to sound interesting while you're telling this true stuff. You know, you're saying this true stuff. or,
Yeah.
nonfiction stuff. And then I did dabble a little bit in some fiction. I did a short story. And then in 2016, my brother was or had published a book or was getting ready to publish a book, his second book, and he was looking for a voice actor. And in my work in audiobooks, I met Jeff Hayes, who is the guy that I work with now. Met him, introduced him to my brother, and then he did my brother's audiobook for the second book, this one on the hit list. And then Jeff asked me if I wanted to work as an audiobook proofer for him. And I did that, but then every once in a while I would still do some audiobook stuff. Like I did a couple of short stories for Sound Booth Theater for Jeff's company. But I'm not an actor and I don't have the desire to take the time to train myself to be an actor. And I'm perfectly content working behind the scenes, which is what I do now. So I wouldn't really call myself, I'm credited as a voice actor on some, titles, but I don't personally consider myself a voice actor. Just like
That's,
I don't consider myself a professional critic.
that's really cool. That sounds like a job to me. I don't know. I
Oh,
never.
I absolutely love it, Jason. I love it.
Cool.
And the
Yeah.
company that I work with, and originally it was just Jeff and me, because a lot of people don't realize the work that goes into audiobook
Well,
production. It is a ton of work, and a lot of new voice actors, when they start out doing this, one of their biggest doorways is ACX, which is connected to Audible/Amazon. And so you go on there and you find titles you would like to audition for, you audition, and then you're hired or not. And that's how that was one of the doorways Jeff got into. But when you start off that way and it's just you and you're not hired by a big production company like Podium or, Penguin Audio or anything like that, you have to do everything yourself, or you have to hire out to do it. So you have to record your audio, then you have to go through and you have to edit your audio, fix any mistakes, do re-records to fix your mistakes. Then you have to do like the mastering, which means you have to do stuff with the sound. You got to do all this technical stuff with the sound and the levels and compression and EQ and all this stuff. And then upload it and whatever. Well, he was getting to the point where he was just being so bombarded with work, he was running out of time to do things like the proofing, which is you listen to it, you listen for mistakes. And so that's why he asked me. And then he formed Sound Booth Theater. And now it's gotten crazy huge. There is a title that we have worked on called, I'll show it to you, Dungeon Crawler Crawl, which is a tremendously huge success. They're going to make a TV show out of it now.
Oh, wow.
On, what is it? Peacock. So, yeah, it's just crazy to see what it has grown into. It's been a fun journey. I love it so much. So, yeah, that's
Cool.
my day job. Keeps me pretty busy, but it, revolves around stories. So, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, sure,
I,
sure.
you love it. Yeah.
I cracked it open once, and I was
The,
like, "Yeah, nope."
the great Mice. I don't think anybody's like that.
I
That's,
couldn't even finish watching the movie. I was so bored.
oh, I'm so bored. Yeah.
I was so bored. They sent me the screener and I was like, okay, because I like Bradley Cooper. Let me see. And
Yeah.
I think I got 20, 30 minutes in. I was like, I just don't care. Don't
Yeah.
care.
It was a Netflix movie. I got a lot of Oscar nominations.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Mike should come on here and ask you questions.
No, it's okay, Mike. It's all right. I'm glad you're in the chat. Thank you once again for all your help coordinating this thing with Jason, because stupid Gmail sent his stuff to spam.
Norin riding.
Hey, Norin.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Another fellow guest on the channel.
Yep. I remember his appearance.
Is that where we talked about a Better Man? And you were
Yes.
like, yeah, and you were like schooling us on Better Man. We're like, oh.
I wasn't. I don't think I was being hostile. I was just like letting you guys know.
It was kind of funny. We're like, all right. But yeah, anyways, just to say, yeah, I really like your channel. Love how you edit your videos where you're on like the left side and you have like the trailer or like moments from the movie on the right side.
I have
You keep stuff.
a poster on the left side, and I will show clips of the trailer that cover up the whole screen. Usually, where I only show a smaller screen with the trailer, like it takes the place of my Terminator picture. That's usually when I'm doing things like my favorites of the year and my least favorites. That, but usually when I show trailers, I just cover up my face. I cover up everything.
Yeah, it's a really cool way to do all the editing that you do is really cool. I think.
It's time consuming.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's way more than I do.
Very, very much. I
Uh,
used to not. I used to not. I used to just like blah, 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 and just throw it up there. And I look back at those now, I'm like, holy cow, that was terrible. Nobody wants to hear me umming and awing,
yeah,
and I sit and I'll think a little bit. I think sometimes about like how do I really want to express that? What's the right word? So I used to just not edit that out too much at all. Now I do. Unless it's important, unless I feel like it's an important way to get across my frustration with something, like let's say Joker 2.
I was gonna mention
I
one of the best rank.
I did leave some of those in. A lot of sighing went on in that
Yeah,
stupid review. I was so upset.
I say I love when you rant on a movie like Joker 2. It was. I wonder if you get really good views for that. 'Cause that's always a fun to
It
see.
does seem like negativity draws more
Yeah,
reviews, but that's not my desire. I truly don't want to
I know.
hate a movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I want to love a movie, but there are some channels where that's their focus is like
Oh,
when I say film criticism, it's like all negative because that
oh yeah,
drives a lot of views and attention.
yeah,
But and so they do what I often call hate watching. They
yeah,
watch something that they know they're not going to like, and
yes.
I don't like to do that. If I legit know that I absolutely will not like something, I will just not watch it, even if it might bring me a lot of because I want to enjoy my experience. I don't want to be mad, you know. But when I get mad, I get really annoyed.
I say Joker 2 is one of the best ones, and I'm trying to think of what else. Halloween Kills, I think, was one that was really.
Oh, Halloween Kills and Ends,
That was.
especially Kills. Oh gosh,
I think that was the one where you're like,
I was so upset.
got him and freaking let him go.
Yeah,
That's
that
the funniest one.
well, okay, so that's from my son. I think maybe what you're watching is maybe a short I shared. So we did a collab review. I did a collab review with my son, and
Yeah.
I was ranting about like I'm still angry about it. And so he took a clip of that talking with me
Oh,
about, they have the special soul gaze, and he plays that thing over and
oh,
over.
he loves playing it, and it's hilarious. Yeah, because he slows it down. He freaking
Yeah, and
let him
let
go.
him go.
So funny. But yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You also do a lot of live. Uh,
Live
uh,
streams,
I
yeah. Hmm.
used to come on, or I used to be on your lives on the chat. You would like do like favorite movies from a certain year or something like that,
Yeah,
and
we
you'd have
did that.
there that you would like collaborate with, and
Yeah, we had some. So,
uh,
that was like something that was Arturo's idea, my son's idea. Let's start with 1980 and go all the way up to, like the last decade, the latest decade. And that's what we did. And now that's over. So I'm not as regular anymore about I mean, I intended to. I was going to like do thematic live streams, but number one, just real life and work and everything keeps me pretty busy. So I just haven't focused on that. And also, I've started doing live streams about the mystery movies that come, like to Regal and stuff.
yeah, you always do the mystery movie thing.
The
Yeah,
mystery movies, and then I also live stream with Sound Booth Theater, my audio,
yeah,
the audiobook company.
yeah,
So that keeps me pretty busy with live streams, even though it's not like it was when I first started doing them regularly.
yeah. Um, you talk about hate watch. Like, I was gonna go see Snow White, but then I
Oh,
thought I'm just gonna hate watch it. So like, why do I want to spend my money
yep,
when I hate the movie
yep.
and I'm gonna rant about it on my channel? So I'm like, I mean, when it comes on Disney Plus, I'll probably watch it and then give a rant about it. But
I will not even give it my time.
oh, okay, you're one that. Yeah, I know. It's like I don't give them any money, but I'm like, oh.
My time is valuable, Disney. I will not waste it on that.
Exactly. Well, Sam, we've been talking for a while, and I even got to my questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the thing with me, Jason. I'm sorry. Have to keep me on track.
All right, so you're on the hot seat here, and we're going to
Uh
talk about Sin and her channel,
oh.
hopefully. Number one question I like to always ask is, where did you grow up, and what was it like?
So I grew up mostly in the South.
Hmm.
That's probably as specific as I'll be publicly on a
Okay,
live stream. I
okay.
was born in the North. I do say this like in my
In
bio. Born in the North, but raised in the South.
the South. Okay.
Yeah, spent a little time also in Indiana, and like when I was 7, 8, and then moved back to the South, and that's where I've been ever since.
Hmm.
And I grew up without a TV. So whenever I did see stuff, it was very impactful for me, good or bad. So that I trace, so like this is why Halloween scared me so much when I was a kid. I was 10 when I saw it and should not have seen it.
Yeah. No.
My parents were watching it. My dad and I would go over and be with my mom when she had like night shift duty, being like a caretaker for an elderly lady, and it was not the best part of town. So we would go over, and one day they played Halloween on the TV, and when things started happening, and mom and dad realized, well, this is probably not appropriate, instead of turning the dang channel, they just told me to turn my seat around. But I could hear everything. And then when they thought he was dead, they
Yeah.
said I could turn back around, and lo and behold, he was not dead.
Yeah. No.
And that movie scarred me. Scarred me. Literally scarred me psychologically for life. I have nightmares still about Michael Myers as a freaking adult. But it's my favorite horror movie.
Oh, okay.
So, that's kind of like my childhood.
All right. So you're used to warm weather then, I'm guessing? And
Yeah, pretty much. But we still, I mean, we have all 4 seasons
mhm.
in the South. And it's very, the weather acts, I kid you not, Jason, we can have all 4 seasons in the span of a day or a week.
Oh, I feel that way in Kansas.
Especially, like the first part of fall, and then as you're coming out of winter into spring, it
Yeah.
just gets really hormonal.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Crazy. You'll have weather fluctuations of 30, 40, 50 degrees sometimes from one day to the next. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and then it plays with your sinuses and all that.
Yeah, I hear you there. I can't say I heard a southern accent out of you, but you said you've been in different places, so maybe that's.
Well, I have lived most of my life in the South, and people, when they hear me, they say they can hear it.
Uh,
But when I listen to videos of myself from, like, let's say 20, 30 years ago, it was more pronounced than it is now. I don't know why. It's there. It's there, Jason. Like Mike, if he heard it, he'd probably, yeah, she sounds real Southern.
funny. Do you like more big city or like small town
I
or
do not like big city.
me either?
Um, I cannot. Like, I despise big cities with
Yeah,
a passion. It's
yeah,
just too many people, and the area where I live is decently sized. It's comfortable, but it's growing a lot. But I live more away from the city, more out in the suburbs. Like, where I live now used to be considered out in the boondocks a long time ago, and now everybody's coming our way.
right.
It's like,
Yeah,
go
oh,
go away.
yeah. It's better out here probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, city sucks. I don't like
Mm-mm. Can't stand it. Nope.
there's cities. Um, Question two: do you have a favorite school memory or achievement?
Um, Probably one of the things that come to mind was winning some sort of writing award, because, I used to like to write. I thought I
Yeah,
was going to be an author. Yeah, I
Huh.
wanted to be an author. I did write a novel, I just never published it. So that's like one of the main things that comes to mind. And of
Yeah.
course, hanging with my friends. But other than that, I wasn't super crazy about school. I did fine in school, but I wasn't crazy. Oh, do have a good memory.
Okay.
So my freshman year of high school, I sucked at algebra. It made no sense to me, and our teacher was a former college professor. So he had to come down on the level of high schoolers,
Right.
freshmen, okay? And he couldn't really do it. He would he'd type out, listen, he'd write out all these equations and A and B and Z and over whatever, and this is Mickey Mouse stuff. It's like, what the what do you no, it is not. It's like a foreign language. I can't understand this. So I failed that first year of algebra. And then I had to take it the next year. So my sophomore year, I took it again and I had a really shaky start, but then something happened like after the first semester and it clicked and I got it. And that
Uh,
became one of my favorite classes. And I had the same teacher too. And I was like, "Oh no." So this I'm getting around to my favorite memory. One of my favorite memories. There was this little kitty that we had, and I was afraid my mom was going to take it to the SPCA to give it away because it was just like a little stray we found, and I didn't want her to. So I snuck it to school in the pocket of my dress, and I kept that little cat in my pocket all day long. And I would feed it, had a little paper towel in there if it had to go to the bathroom. Would let it go to the bathroom, like in the bathroom, put down a little thing for to go whatever. And by the time I got to that algebra class, pretty much everybody in the class knew I had a cat in
oh yeah.
my pocket. So they started meowing, except the teacher didn't know.
Yeah.
People were meowing in the class. And he's just like, does somebody have a cat? Or whatever? He mentioned something about a cat. And I pulled the cat out of my pocket and showed him. His face got like the red, just well, not angry, but just like, I guess, like shocked and everything. That was a funny memory. And then another one was shooting one of my teachers in the mouth with a water gun when we were like doing a dress up Halloween thing, and she was a flapper, and I was Clyde to my friend's Bonnie or whatever. I was in a suit, we went parading across, and I had I had a submachine, water gun, and I just like kind of pointed it at her and sprayed, and it went right in her mouth. That's a good memory. It was just for fun, fortunately, it didn't hurt her, but I remember hearing the gargle in her mouth when I did it. So, yeah, some pretty good memories.
So what was English your favorite class or?
Um, no,
Oh, okay.
because the stuff they made us read was boring. I hated the stuff we had to read in high school and college. Couldn't stand it. Western Civ was an enjoyable class, and then of course algebra. Once math clicked for me,
Yeah.
algebra, geometry, and algebra 2 were some of my favorites.
Hmm. 'Cause just
And
from this, I can see that you like writing and stuff like that. So that's why I thought English, but
whenever I did writing stuff, that was fun. But in English class, they make you read freaking Shakespeare, which
yeah.
I hate.
Yeah.
And who wrote the Scarlet Letter? Nathaniel Hawthorne. Oh my gosh, could not. I
Right.
just couldn't.
Never read it, but
Boring as all. The only two books that I liked in high school that we were forced to read, well, one was a choice. I picked it among a list, and the other one was forced. One was To Kill a Mockingbird.
I'd say it
I,
has to be Kill a Mockingbird. I had to
I
read.
did. I did like that. I liked it so much I read it to my kids
That's a good.
because I homeschooled my kids, so I read it to them.
Okay.
And the other one was The Hobbit. Those were the only I enjoyed.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we all had to read Kill a Mockingbird. That was I think every high school read that, and then
Yes.
we all had to read like what's it called Tom Sawyer or something like that.
Yes, the Mark Twain stuff.
Yeah, I think we all had to read Romeo and Juliet. I
Oh
swear,
my gosh.
I think everybody had to read that. That's
Yes, I hated it. Hated it. We even watched the movie, with Olivia
yeah.
Hussey in it. Yeah.
I watched the movie too. Yeah,
Yep. I was not a fan. I despise Shakespeare with a passion. Cannot stand his
I
stuff.
like I like Macbeth. That's the one Shakespeare I actually quite like. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I liked A Big Fat Zero up.
Okay. Interesting. You're an audiobook person, but Shakespeare now. So
I
go ahead.
don't like all stories. There's,
Yeah,
so
that's interesting. Question three: what are your favorite things to do in your free time?
I don't have a lot of free time. Um, Typically watching movies,
Uh huh. Yeah.
but which I like to do anyway. So that's why,
What?
my channel is fun. It's my I mean, I call it my hobby because it's not my actual job. I mean, I'm monetized, but it basically just pays for my Regal subscription and some movie tickets. So, um, I'm doing this because I absolutely love it. So if I weren't doing it, it would be watching movies, reading, watching shows. Obviously, I like to exercise. That's an important part of my life. So yeah, that's base. Oh, and whenever I can see my brothers.
Uh huh.
So
How many movies do you think you see a week? You see quite a bit, don't you?
you know, I tallied up. Well, not until so I created an IMDb page for
Oh.
my show,
Oh.
and I
Okay.
mostly did it so that I could keep track of like I could look on my YouTube channel, but my reviews are mixed up with other stuff like reactions and everything. So and even though I try to have a playlist, I don't feel like I've done a great job of keeping it organized. So I created an IMDb page, and I just every time I do an episode, I put it in. And I today the amateur I think was my 37th review for 2025. So, and there've been things that I've seen that I haven't reviewed. You know? So, I don't always do a review of stuff I watch. It depends on how I feel about it.
Okay. Right.
So
Right.
so it's a lot.
I was gonna say it's probably a lot. I think I don't know. I've seen 7 or 8 movies so far. I think
Oof, I've
something like
seen a
I don't
ton.
know.
But also, I'm watching movies at least 3 a month for the Sound Booth Theater live streams because we usually pick 3. So
Okay.
that's on top of what I already watch for my channel.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I forgot. You used to do reaction videos. That's right.
Yeah, I did. That's
Yeah.
how my channel got big.
I don't know if this was for a COVID thing, but you reacted to like stand-up comedy, I believe.
It
And
was it was
YouTube.
COVID. Yeah, it was COVID. That's so I was doing trailer reactions and reviews, and
Yeah.
COVID, the end of the world happened,
Yeah.
and like a lot of people, I was in a very dark place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it still angers me when I think back about that time and the way things were
Oh,
done.
terrible for the movie business.
Mm, just terrible for everybody. The
Yeah.
way the reaction to it was just and to me, one of the worst. I feel like there should be some criminal charges going around for the way some governments reacted. But I was just, there wasn't a lot of laughter. So I started reacting to comedy videos because I wanted to laugh. And it was a Bill Burr video I reacted to
Yeah.
that made my channel. Yeah, the Bill Burr was the one where he told the story about his then girlfriend, now wife, who physically abused him. And my reaction to that was what, like,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what exploded the channel because I had a reaction, I guess, that, I mean, it was an honest reaction. None of my reactions are fake or put on or anything.
Right.
Um, and I just kind of went on a little bit of a rant about, you know, abuse against men and how often it happens and just and that's kind of what that definitely bumped me over the 1000 mark. And then I would do interviews too. I had the Critical Drinker on my channel for an interview.
You had the Critical Drinker?
I had the Critical Drinker, yeah, I contacted him in 20 when
Wow.
my channel exploded, and he was already well ahead of me by then, but he was very gracious with his time, and we did an
Wow.
interview. I also interviewed Gothix, who's like a political-ish commentator, um, interviewed a movie director, interviewed Jeff, my boss, interviewed both of my brothers, just for fun. I don't do those too much anymore, but yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I love the Critical Drinker. I watch him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him too. You know, he's worked with us on one of our audiobooks.
Well, he's a author. He writes books. I
He
know.
is an author, but we got him to do some voice work on
Oh,
one of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books. On
oh,
book number 3, he played his character was an alcoholic S Scottish Scottish dwarf. That was the character he played. It was
well,
perfect.
it's- yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Like, man, yeah. Um, oh, yeah. 'Cause I just remembered. One of my favorite YouTube videos I watched. I love watching reactions to it, and you reacted to it, and you have a great reaction to it. But it's this, um, and you remember this this guy. He says like it's like a girl's hotness, and then
Oh, the hot and crazy matrix. Yeah.
yeah, crazy hot man.
Yeah.
And I was watching a bunch of reactions. That's one of the funniest videos, and you had a reaction to it, so I watched it, and it was funny. It's hilarious. I thought,
He's so serious the way he does it, and he's like
that's
it's like all scientific and
oh,
everything.
very specific how you mix the boxes and how it, like all
Yeah,
mixed.
that
Like,
was funny. I thought it was
he
funny.
really thought this out. Like this is that's a good watch. You're, it was great. Um, anyway, so question number 5. Wait, number 4. So wait a minute. Do you remember a movie in your life? And I know there's a movie I'm thinking that I know you like, but I'll see if there's a different movie. But is there a movie in your life that you saw that you're like, okay, now I love movies and I'm gonna spend my time reviewing movies, or
Oh, reviewing movies? Because
well,
like,
maybe
this goes
maybe
way
early
back.
or just I guess it's more. Yeah, what is there a movie that you're like really got you into loving movies? I guess if that makes sense.
So, since I grew up without a TV, whenever I saw a movie, it was a big, huge deal for me. We would do things like rent from the library back
Yeah.
when you had these projection reels and you'd put them on a projector and we'd throw the movie up on the wall. And 2 that I remember back in those days, and we had like a monitor. It wasn't a TV, it was just like a video monitor, and we had a VCR, and so we would watch, get videos from the store. But 2 that I remember very specifically that I have just been in love with ever since, was The Black Stallion and The Secret of Nim.
Oh, okay.
And those movies are on my top 10 favorites. I
Oh,
adore both of those films. Um, and then, of course, The Terminator, basically, I say that The Terminator changed my life, not just because of
I was
my
gonna say
love for the story. Yeah, The
you know you're
Terminator.
there
I
too.
did a whole little video about how it changed my life. It was just like a reaction I was doing to something, and I stopped and I talked about this thing with The Terminator. Not just because I absolutely love it, but because of the influence that Arnold had on me as a result of me being obsessed with that movie. I was, by extension, obsessed with him kind of, but not in like a romantic-y way, just obsessed with him and like his achievements, his accomplishments, and his fitness. And that just really motivated me. And that's when I started to work out when I was a teenager, work out in my bedroom to his Body Shaping for Women book. And,
Oh,
and then Terminator 2 came along and Linda Hamilton like blew
oh,
my mind. And I was like, okay, I'm picking up weights now. I'm going to do. And then, meeting Linda Hamilton last year was phenomenal. But, so yeah, Black Stallion, Secret of Nim, and then the Terminator for totally different reasons.
I was thinking Terminator 2 might be your answer, but okay, that's good. You have other answers.
Well,
That was later on.
yeah, that was a little later on. I was already in love with movies by then. So
Yeah, that was 91 or so.
91, yeah. Yeah, July of 91.
I was too young to watch it. I was.
Yeah, my brothers were too, but I still I took a VCR and I edited out some of the bad parts, like the finger through the eye and all that so they
Yeah,
could
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, that's a great movie. That's interesting. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen Stallion or Secret of Nim or whatever.
You've never seen it?
No,
Oh,
Stallion.
it's such a beautiful it's so I just Don Bluth did that.
Oh, Secret of Nymph is Tom Bluth, or
Secret of Nim is Don Bluth.
okay, is that
And
like Ice or something?
no, it's
Oh no.
it's a story. Okay, so it's based on a book. And the
Yeah.
movie's a little different from the book because I read the book to my kids too. It's about this little farm mouse who she's a widow. Her husband got killed by the farmer's cat, and she has and every season they have to move their house out of the way of the farmer's tractor. So that season is coming up, but she can't move because one of her little children is sick. Timmy, he's got pneumonia. So she goes to this scientist mouse to get this cure from him, and through him she finds out about these rats from NIM, which is the National Institute of Mental Health, and they were rats that were living on the farm there that had escaped the lab because they'd been experimented on, and they were super smart. And she comes in contact with them, and they're supposed to help her move her house because she can't physically move because of her little son.
Hmm.
So it's just a lovely story, great voice acting. Dom DeLuise was the voice of the crow. I think he was a crow, and Derek Jacobi was the voice of Nicodemus. Shannon Doherty was one of her little children,
Okay.
and some other names that you would recognize. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a lovely film. It's maybe like an hour and 15 or 20 minutes, and
I've heard of it. Yeah, I thought it was a book, and you said, okay.
it was a book.
Probably seen the book cover too at some point
You
when I was.
you might have, but then the one that I have is the one where, it came out when the movie came out, so they have pictures,
Okay.
like a picture of Nicodemus on there from the movie, but I think the original book probably had a totally different cover.
I was thinking Black Stallion. I think has like a famous actor who
Well,
done all
Kelly
before.
Reno and Mickey Rooney.
Yes, Mickey Rooney. I think.
And Terry Garr. Terry Garr was in that.
Okay.
And that was obviously based on, Black Stallion was a series of books, which at one point I had read all the books that had come out because I loved horses. I thought I wanted a horse. Now I'm glad I don't have one because they are a lot of care
Care.
and
Yeah.
they're expensive. But
Yeah.
that movie is such a gorgeous movie, and it's just, oh my goodness, that horse is so beautiful. Yeah, it's a really good
I just
story.
remember Mickey Rooney was like in it. I think he got an Oscar nomination or something like that. But
Oh,
anyways,
okay. Yeah, I didn't know that he did, but yeah, he played like an ex jockey or trainer or something.
well, if you know me, I know every Oscar. So
You would know.
uh, yeah, that's right. You entered my contest. You
Mhm.
did not get into the top three, but
Nope.
uh,
Oh well.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, and I was so happy because I don't have too many people that go into that entered
That
that. So I
yeah,
was very thankful anytime someone enters that contest. I
it's
enjoy.
probably, a lot of people kind of just like, I'm not personally super interested in the Oscars because it's gotten so political, and most of the time nowadays it feels like a lot of the movies that are nominated are just ridiculous, and a lot of them are bandwagony. So I don't watch the awards. I don't care, but I entered it for the fun of it. So
Yeah, yeah. Your choices were. I don't know. I was kind of laughing to myself when I was looking at your choices and going, "That's not going to win." But I think
did I
some.
pick did no, I knew so I was thinking maybe the Robbie Williams. I know that some of them I
Yeah,
did pick based on my personal opinion, but I can't remember, did I pick Flo or The Wild Robot? I can't recall for, like, best animated because Flo won, and I remember it surprised
yeah.
a lot of people.
I
And I
want
don't remember if by
to.
then I kind of felt like it would or if I just stuck with The Wild Robot
Think you stuck with Wild Robots. I think Mike was the only one that
that
picked,
got Flo.
and that was I was like, wow, Mike did a good job choosing that because
Yeah, he did.
I I chose Wild Robot myself. Yeah,
Well, kind of a lot of people felt like that was just gonna be a thing. Have you seen Flo yet?
no, I haven't
I
seen.
haven't either.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think
I haven't.
it's on like Max or something. I could
Oh,
watch.
okay. I haven't watched most of those movies.
Yeah, um, but yeah, yeah. So I kind of laughed to myself as I'm looking at your choice and going, uh,
It's not gonna get it. Yeah.
Then likes that movie, but
I
it's not.
think I gave it to Mikey Madison though.
Oh, did you?
For I think I did because
Uh,
by then I started to have a feeling that she was definitely going to walk away with that one.
oh, that was a good pick because that surprised me. But
Yeah.
anyways, question five: do you have a favorite vacation that you've been on?
You know what? Jason, vacations nowadays are like work for me because you
Yeah.
have to pack, then you have to go there, then you have to unpack, and then you're basically doing the same thing you do at home. You're just in a different location. Like, let's say if you get a beach house, then you got to clean up, then you got to pack, then you got to drive. So I don't know. I don't really have like a favorite vacation memory. It's probably whenever I've gone to the beach with family. I don't I don't do a lot of vacationy stuff.
Okay. You don't do a lot of travel. You do traveling for work probably, but
For work, I travel more for work than I do for anything like personal because I'm really, really busy with work. My husband's really busy with work. So we just pretty much never. I think the last time we went to the beach was like maybe 2017 or
okay.
2018 or something, or I can't remember. It's been a long time. So, but my favorite place to be is on the ocean front,
Okay.
just to look
Yes.
at the waves. Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Cool.
looking at the ocean.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, there's some good places, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
uh, either, well, I guess East Coast. You'd be close to the East Coast, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a place
Those are
to.
the beaches I go to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not much of a beach person, but I'm from Kansas.
Well, you're not close.
We
You're
don't
not
have,
close to a beach.
yeah, beaches aren't really a thing. So wouldn't mind being on a beach, I guess, and see what it's like. But
Would be a bit of a trek for you, unfortunately.
it would be.
Yeah.
Um, Question 6: What do you feel is your greatest talent?
Talking. It's not even a talent. I just talk too much. I don't know. I actually don't feel particularly talented in any like
Yeah.
I like to write and people have
Okay.
said my writing is good, but I don't feel like it's all that great. I I'm pretty good with editing. I've edited some books, my brother's books and also books just manuscript editing for work. I'm good at audiobook proofing.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm a very boring person. I am good at talking a lot about movies.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you
yeah.
call that a talent.
I think so. Yeah. It's that's a hard question. I don't know why. I always like asking that question, see if what people come up with.
Yeah, well
uh,
there's a lot of cool things people can do. I just don't feel like I'm one of them. I don't feel like I have many cool things I can do except talk.
Step talk. Yeah. That's why I got a YouTube channel.
Mm.
Um, Question 7: What would your dream job be?
My dream job, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like I have a dream job already.
I know you like your job, so
I love my job. I love, love, love my job. I legit love my job.
yeah.
Um, so let's say if that wasn't in the picture.
You're right.
I
Yeah.
would have said before my YouTube channel, I would have said my dream job would have been writing. But now I feel like if I wasn't doing my day job, my dream job would be to be a full-time YouTube movie critic. That would be my dream job. It's
Yeah.
more like a hobby now. So that's probably what it would be because it's what I enjoy doing.
You'd like to be the next Jeremy Johns, huh?
I won't be, it would never be as nearly as good as him. He's got a very unique, interesting sense of humor,
Oh,
and
he,
he just pulls it off, so well.
he's like a stand-up comedian that does movie reviews. I don't know what his.
So funny. I mean, he just the looks on his face and just he cracks me up. And he's able to I am very rarely able to do a movie review that is like less than 10 or 8 minutes because,
Yeah, it's
you
hard.
know, and he manages to do it generally in like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's like kudos to you, sir.
Well, yeah, he does impressions and
He's so funny. He's
uh,
brings out the alcohol, whiskey and stuff.
alcohol. Yeah, he's got good texture. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. I would love to review movies for a living. That's
Yeah.
always.
It's just it's fun. It's fun to talk and especially to talk about them with people that love them as well.
Hey, Jason, another
Oh,
Jason.
2 Jasons.
Jason Entertainment. I always see him on somebody else's channel. I don't know if it's Norton's channel, but that's where I always see Jace.
Okay.
It was.
I like the little avatar.
I don't know if I've ever seen you on my channel. I can't remember, but glad to see you. Yeah, we got the same name, so I like that. Uh, so glad to see
Oh,
Sin.
glad to see you here.
All right, question 8. What's something about you that may surprise people?
That I'm kind of introverted.
Okay.
The bigger the crowd, the quieter I get. So I can be pretty talkative when I'm with a group of people that I feel really comfortable with, but when that group grows and grows and grows, I just get, I just like, I want to go hide in the corner with my computer and edit videos or something.
So, are you like in a superhero movie? Are you what do you call it?
I'm the invisible girl.
The the computer person in the back?
Yeah, something like that. No, though I can step outside my boundary if it involves doing something for somebody else. For example, when I was at DragonCon in 2019 and I gave Carl Urban my brother's first book in front of a room of 1,000 people at his panel,
Yeah.
you know, I did it because I was doing it for my brother. And the reason I did it for my brother is because my brother's the model in my brother's head for this book when he wrote the character was Carl Urban. So he wanted me to give the book to Carl Urban, and I did. Stood up in the panel and, mentioned this to him, and he took the book right there. Someone, handed it because I was a little far away because the room was big. And yeah. And then also Jim Butcher, who is the author of the Harry Dresden series, which had been a TV show way back when.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have pushed myself out of my boundary to talk to him for Sound Booth Theater because I would love for us to work with him. Dee was with me
Yeah.
last year when he saw me crawl up on the stage after the panel because I had told Jim earlier that I was going to accost him because he already knew who I was. I'd already talked to him before. So, and also he was right beside the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl when I went up to talk to him. So he knows of me, but I was going to give him one of our, what we call a cassette drive. It's like a cassette tape, except it's got a USB in it. And we put some of our audiobooks on there, our cinematic audio, what we call them, think graphic audio. And I said I was going to give him one of these after his panel. And I did, except when I did, he's at the table away from the edge of the stage. And he just like went like this, like, okay, go ahead, give it to me. Well, it was too tall for me to step up onto. So I crawled up onto it and then walked over on my knees to give him this thing. And Dee was right there.
Wow.
So it may surprise people to know that I will step out of my comfort zone on behalf of others.
All right, but
That was great.
sounds like you like to be more behind the scenes kind of
I
person,
do. I definitely do. Yeah.
except for YouTube channel.
Except I know, right? It seems like it's weird. I don't like to take pictures. I don't like to be in a picture because I don't like the way they turn out half the time. But here I am on YouTube with my face all over the place. I know it doesn't make any sense, but it feels different because I feel like I'm just talking with my friends, when I'm talking to the camera.
Well, it takes some getting used to. Probably first started out.
Yes,
Me,
it does.
because you're just talking to a camera and you don't know what people are thinking, or you don't have any reaction to anybody, so you're just sitting there
Yeah, you
talking.
can't bounce it off of
Yeah,
anybody. Yeah,
you're just going, gosh, I hope this makes sense, or I hope
I know.
okay.
But now
Oh,
it does get more natural.
yeah, yeah,
And I do feel like when I'm filming a review, I do feel like I am legit talking to you guys. I'm picturing having a conversation even though you can't talk back to me in the moment,
hmm
So it thinking about it that way has helped a lot.
yeah. Like I said, I love how every time I watch your video, there's always a cat or a dog or something.
Oh, it's my dogs.
He's making noise upstairs, and you always stop, and you're just like, You almost get this like side, like
Yeah.
they're
It's
making
like
noise doing the YouTube.
like they're barking right now. One of them's barking. So, I used to cut all that stuff out, but now I've started leaving some of them in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I think to myself, one of these days they're not going to be here. And I'm going to have these little memories if I can keep the, part of the video, that time that Chibi was scratching her chair and I had to keep saying, Chibi, and they interrupt me. They want to be up in my lap. Then they want to get down there. Oh my
And you're like, I'm right in the middle of this.
God.
Get him up.
And then like maybe Arturo will come in the room, and interrupt while I'm doing my video. And
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
I feel like I should have a sign outside my office
right.
door, recording in progress.
Oh yeah, I feel like you get interrupted every single video.
I do almost every single
Wow,
video.
there it is again. Like somebody.
See what I mean when I say not professional? This is one of the reasons I don't feel professional in my reviews.
Yeah, that's fun. I like it. I laugh when I see it. Um, yeah. Okay, so you've been in chat. Okay, maybe we've talked before. I know I've seen you in other chat.
Multiverse of Jasons.
Yeah, because anytime you get two Jasons, we're like, oh,
Oh
Jason.
yeah.
Yeah, the multiverse of Jasons. I'm trying to think who else. There's some other people I know that um, like their husband or something's named Jason. I'm forgetting now the names of the people that I've met on YouTube,
A
but
lot of people to
there's
know.
a couple Jasons out there. That, yeah, I was got to get together and do
Have like a little Jason con.
all Jason live stream. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny because you talked about I'm sure you've been to a lot of Comic Con type places.
Yes.
That's big crowds. So I was
Yeah. Yeah.
been because of the big crowds. I don't go to the Comic Con stuff, but
I was just recently at Planet Comic Con in Kansas City.
yeah, you were just
Um
I know.
yeah. And I go there like, well, so I go to cons for fun too, with my family, but I also go there for work. I had the opportunity to go to New York Comic Con last year, but it just didn't work out. Like logistically, I couldn't do it. Thought maybe we were going to go to San Diego Comic Con, but I don't think we're going to do that because our company is having our own con in July in Denver called Lit RPG Con, and San Diego is just like the weekend after that. It's too much.
That's the big one.
So yeah, and then we go to Dragon Con. But yeah, a lot of times so the thing I like to do the most at cons when I go for, for pleasure, I like to go to the panels. So the most that I'm around big crowds is when I'm going from one panel to the next, and it can feel a bit claustrophobic, but obviously at Planet Comic Con, I went there for work and it was a lot of talking that we had to do. All those people coming to the booth and everything. I really have to push myself out of my comfort zone to do that.
Thank you, Sin. I did
Oh, you did it yourself.
myself, and I'm always proud of it. Cool.
I like the colors.
Maybe adjust it a little bit. Yeah, definitely. I like the name, Jason Entertainment. That's pretty cool. Let's see. And he's saying hi to Mike and Norn in the chat. It looks like.
Oh, and I've got the screen big so I can see you better, so I can't see what's going on in the chat.
There's somebody named Scrimp Pool in the chat. Does that sound familiar?
No.
Okay.
Let
I
me
didn't want to put them on because I didn't know who they are, and
let me make no.
okay. I'm not gonna put their comments on because
Yeah.
the comments didn't make sense to me. I was like,
Yeah, no, they doesn't
only
make
if you
sense to
knew.
me either.
But anyways, but yeah. Let's see. Question 9: do you have any major pet peeves?
Probably more than I should. Slow drivers. Asshole fast drivers that are on your butt even though you're going 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit.
That's worse, yeah.
Social media is a pet peeve even though I'm on there. People not digging deeper than the headlines when it comes to certain things, so they are very easily manipulated by just headline talking points. Those sorts of things. That's what comes to me off the top of my head. Pet peeve.
Yeah, I think I have a couple. I think I have a couple. One of them is, I don't know if you know this, but I've been Yeah, I know. Like, I just well, I can talk to you because I talk mostly to people in their 20s. I feel like when I'm collaborating with YouTubers,
Mm,
early 30s. I'm 41 years old, so I always feel like I'm the oldest person in the room every time I'm in a
that
collaboration.
would be me. That would
And
be me. That's the oldest person in the room.
yeah, and I always feel like saying like gosh, I remember before social media, before cell phones,
Back
before
in my day.
yeah,
Yeah.
back in my day, we didn't have any stuff and
It did feel like life was simpler and better
yeah,
then.
yes.
It really did, because people interacted. Are you wanting to get up and see my dog? Are you wanting to actually get up here? Or are you just like, what are you doing? Sometimes she goes and she'll do, okay, come on, babe. All right, there we go.
There you
She did. That's little kitty. Say hey,
go. We
everybody.
gotta
And she's like, what are you doing? Um, and she's gonna promptly get back down.
and then she gets down. Yeah.
She got right back down. Little stinker. Yeah, I feel like people got along better. And I feel like in face to face interactions, for the most part, people live in their day to day lives. People get along okay. They get along pretty good. Social media has become very divisive.
Well, of course, me and you have probably experienced this. It's so easy for people to say really mean things to you,
Hmm.
and you're like, you don't know me. You say something
Yeah.
mean. Like I'm a nice person in real life. If you met me in real life, but you come on my channel and you just say mean things. It's like,
Yeah, because it's easy. It's easy to hide behind a screen,
it's like
you
yeah,
know.
my face, but you're like saying stuff. I'm like, geez, Louise, like I'm one of the nice guys you ever meet.
And I don't I try not to like feel I try not to get into like a situation where I feel like I need to defend myself to people that don't even know me. And a lot of times whenever someone's coming on, and I'm not talking about someone having a respectful conversation or of disagreement or whatever. I'm
Right.
talking about people that are being assholey about it. And there's plenty of those. I will usually just hide them. So they'll just talk to themselves. Nobody will see them. Have fun.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Yeah, I
Yeah,
kick him
just
off.
hide. Yeah, just hide them from the channel so they can continue to comment, but no one will see their comments.
Yeah, yeah.
And, it's like I used to not do that, but then I decided, well, number one, I already see enough of that in other avenues, like other locations on social media. I don't need to see it on my own channel. And, it's just why? Why subject myself to something that's not constructive at all? So
The way I see negative comments are imagine having a life leaving hate comments on a random video than
yeah,
actually do something useful.
because it's easier. That's why they do stuff like that,
I know.
you know? And they have the platform to do it because it's a forum.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, like that's the worst things about social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's but there's obviously upsides. If it weren't for social media, I never would have met Jeff. I never would have gotten the job that I got because, we officially met on Facebook and I
No,
had listened to a couple of his audiobooks and then, because I was in audiobooks and narrating, I wanted to form, a network of people that I knew. So, there's definitely some huge
oh
upsides to it.
yeah. Let's see. Imagine being asked, "Hey, what did you see in your
All right.
hate comments on your YouTube?" I know, like,
Eh,
I don't know.
whatever.
Let's see. Oh, he's just talking to Jason. Okay. Um, let's see. Question 10. What was your first job?
My first my first job was working at a microfilm company. For those who don't know what microfilm is, so you know how when you'll watch movies of people in the library and they're researching stuff and they're in front of those big, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a company like that where people like
Microfilm.
yeah, microfilm, microfiche, they companies want to basically almost like digitize. It's not really digitizing, but they want to archive their records. And so they send us our stuff, and they, you prep the pages, and you just have these pictures taken of them. That's microfilming, microfiche. But I also did stuff with like a punch card machine. I can't even remember what that was about. But that was my first like paying job. And it was a monotonous job. I also worked the front desk, like reception and secretarial type stuff. But when I would work in the back on the machines, I would listen. I would record movies that I like The Black Stallion, um, The Terminator, Secret of Nim, and a Sherlock Holmes like little short movie called oh gosh, I can't remember what it had. Christopher Plummer in it, maybe Silver or something, whatever. And I would listen to things. I would listen to these movies while I'm doing my work.
Uh,
So yeah, listen to audio recordings of my favorite movies. Silver Blaze, that was the name of it. Silver Blaze, I'm pretty sure. It was like a little Sherlock Holmes, maybe 45-minute thing. I think it had Christopher Plummer in it. It was something that we had rented, maybe from the library or VHS tape, and I recorded the audio.
okay, I never heard anybody do that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was bored and I wanted to watch movies. But you can't watch movies while you're working, so I did the next best thing and listened to them. I listened to the Terminator so much, I like whenever I'm like hearing a line from the Terminator, it's just like ingrained into my brain. The way the voice sounds, especially like that dump truck driver at the beginning. When Arnold comes and he's trying to turn the thing. I mean, I could hear him trying to start the vehicle, and he's like, "What the hell?" And it's so funny because I listen to that a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. In my brain, I just keep thinking of like spy films of get the microfilm, like
Oh yeah,
some Russian, like we got
not
to get,
quite that exciting.
and they're all fighting over this microfilm has secret information. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah, because you can just it's basically a picture. Just put it on this looks like a film.
yeah, if you watch like the first Mission Impossible movie, which was made in like '96 or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
they're going after a floppy disk. I think that's like the whole thing.
Well, I remember those things.
There's a floppy disk with.
Was it a 3.5 one, or was it one of the big 5.5 ones?
I don't
The
know.
3.5 ones had the harder shell.
Okay.
And excuse my dogs. Do you hear all the footsteps, the running? Yeah. So the floppy disks, why they called them floppy disks was because they were some of the first ones were like this. They were like 5.5 inches or by whatever, and they were literally floppy.
Okay.
And then they came out with the smaller ones that were like a square like this, and they had a hard shell around them, but they were still called floppy disks.
Okay, I only remember the hard shell ones personally, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember literal floppy ones that would, and you'd put it in the machine, and yeah, oof, long time ago.
I'm watching that, and they're dealing with a floppy disk, and of course now we got Mission Impossible coming out, and technology has changed so much since.
So much. I know.
Crazy. Now we're dealing.
Is.
Yeah. USB.
Yeah, little teeny tiny like micro drive, like like this.
Mm-hmm.
That holds like hundreds and thousands and millions of times that one of those big floppy disks would hold.
Oh yeah, oof, yeah. We got our pockets,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Basically, but yeah. Number 11. What's your biggest fear? Do you have a fear of something?
Well, I have a fear of heights. I'm scared of flying now. I didn't used to be, but after I became a mother, I suddenly developed a fear of flying. Huh. Stuff like that. Michael Myers. I'm not kidding, Jason. When I watch Halloween, because I watch it every year, Halloween generally followed by Halloween 2018, but I think this year I'm going to do Halloween followed by H2O. When I watch those movies, I cannot go outside at night that night. Like my kids, you got to take the dogs out. You got to take the trash out. I'm not doing it because I just know he's there.
My, yeah.
Yeah, but heights really get me. Like if I see a movie that takes place and people are really up high, oh, I get so tense. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that might be one of my obviously normal things like fear of dying, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I don't know if I have a. I don't know. I
can't
get.
stand.
I have a little bit of a fear of heights, I suppose. But
But flying, think about it. You're 30,000 feet up in the air.
I've flown many times, and I don't get
I
scared.
have two, and I don't like it.
I don't get scared of that. I tell you what scares me is like being in a well, even like well, being in a what do you call it, Ferris wheel thing, like
Oh,
that goes really high in the air, and
yeah,
and the thing you're in is like shaking as you're. That's
yeah.
I hate it so much. I was in one a couple years ago in Branson, Missouri, I think. Uh, my mom and like my sister and my niece was like, "Yeah, we went up this thing. Let's go up it again." I'm like, oh, "Okay," and I went up it, and I was just sitting there, just like, just like trying to pretend like I wasn't there. I'm like, "Oh, like I'm not up here." Like I know, and I didn't know that was gonna freak me out until I was in there, and then I was
That's
like,
funny.
all of a sudden it freaked me out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is freaking me out."
Yeah, they didn't used to.
uh,
Yeah, they didn't used to. I mean, it's been a while since I've been on a Ferris wheel, but roller coasters scare me, but I will still go on them. But now they hurt my head, and I get a little motion sickness.
yeah, I don't like roller coasters. I liked them a little more when I was younger.
Yeah,
As I got older, I don't enjoy them.
yeah, they're a little too rough.
They're too rough. Yeah, I can do that, and I don't fit as well. Like when I
Oh,
things, like
yeah.
I'm like I don't fit. Like I'm
Oh
gonna
no, I'm gonna fall out.
fall out. Yeah, that kind of scares me. Yeah. Anyways, but that's a good fear. I totally get that. Number 12. What would be a perfect day for you?
Like just in general.
Yeah, if you mapped out a day, what would you like to do in that day?
Well, oh geez, now this is a really hard one because all I do is the same thing day after day. And to me, the perfect day is getting everything done and my house being completely clean. That would be a perfect day.
Okay.
That never happens. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't think, well, this would be the perfect day. But then maybe the perfect day would be being able to look at the ocean while I'm working.
Yeah.
I love looking at the ocean. There's just something so calming and peaceful about it. And it puts me in this mindset where I really step back and think about how small I am in the grand scheme of this whole world. You know, just kind of it's sobering and but at the same time very peaceful. So maybe that would be a perfect day. Being able to do my work, do my reviews while I'm also looking at the ocean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how easy that would be for you. Or
It wouldn't be easy because I don't live on the coast,
I'm just saying,
but
close. I don't
it
know.
if I lived on the coast, it'd probably be old and boring. See, that's the thing. You always are enamored with things that you
Yeah.
can't really live every day. So,
Yeah. I expected you to say something like seeing a really good movie or something.
oh well, I mean that's kind of a
Sitting
well,
on the couch and just enjoying the.
watching a movie that you know I there are some movie experiences that I have had that I was so happy when I came out of it because it was such a good like I wish I could go back and rewatch
Yeah.
Godzilla minus one all over again
Yeah. Yeah.
because the experience of that it came right after two stinkers that I had seen the day before. And then in contrast, this movie that was so much fun, you know. I wish I could watch Terminator 1, well, I never saw Terminator 1 on the big screen until like last year, but I
Uh-huh.
wish I could watch Terminator 2 for the first time again on the big screen. You know, great like Deadpool and Wolverine. Fantastic fun. You know, I love being
Yeah.
able to have a great time at the theater.
Yeah. It's funny because like I haven't been going to theaters too much last ever since COVID. I
Mm.
stopped going to the theater really. because there's so much streaming you can watch at home, so it's like
Yeah, but there's
you
nothing
go
like
out.
the big screen.
It's like, why am I gonna go out when I got like this?
I know, I get it, but,
Uh,
I as soon as movie theaters opened back up here, I was back. I just right away, and I go more now than I did ever before.
but I was, anyways, the last several years I've maybe seen one or two movies in the theater. I knew about, but I've seen like five movies in theater so far this year, so I'm trying to go out more.
Oh, yes, this is you're on a roll now, right?
Yeah,
5 movies?
five movies, so I can review them on the channel. Like
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy watching a movie and then getting to review it right away. I think it's kind of nice. Anyways, but yeah, my feeling was though, like I go see, for instance, in my opinion, I know some of these movies you don't like. I don't know if you like some of these movies, but like I went and saw Flight Risk and I was like, oh, this is terrible. Then I went and saw Love Hurts and I was like, oh, this is not very
Oh,
good.
Love Hurts was oof, yeah, that was bad.
I know you hated it, but
Oh my gosh.
on your good rants on that. But uh, and I actually like Captain America, Brave New World. I actually enjoyed that, but I feel like I saw a bunch of bad movies, and then finally I see something kind of good. I'm like, oh, like a good
It makes you happy, doesn't it?
movie. Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
And I just saw Minecraft, and I thought Minecraft was terrible, and I was like, oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, yeah,
Now I'm
that's
like,
0.
now I need to see a good movie again because it gets me down when I see too many bad movies in a row. I'm like,
Yeah.
go see a good movie. Are there any good movies? Like, it's hard to find a good movie for me. I don't know.
They can be kind of, well, that's why Godzilla sticks out in my brain,
Right? Yeah.
because the day before I had seen 2 films back to back that were terrible, and they were so bad I didn't even wanna do a review, but I got online and I ranted about it for about 30 minutes, and I was not so sure about Godzilla Minus One, and then that was just such a like the contrast, from being just so dejected that these movies were not what they could have and should have been, to then the next day, it was like, "Whoa." It was so great.
So I'm saying I'm waiting for some good movies, son. I feel like I'm lacking good movies so far here.
So, you didn't like Better Man,
I did watch that.
um, but at least you watched it. That was the first movie I saw. I think that was the first movie I saw because it was the first mystery movie at Regal this year, and, Black Bag was pretty decent, but some people weren't crazy about it. They felt like it was boring because it wasn't action packed. Um, I feel like this year I feel has been it hasn't been mostly bad experiences, but it's been mostly kind of mid.
Yeah,
Like I haven't been angry, but I haven't been super in love with it either. It's just like, yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So right now, I only have about 2 or 3 movies that are in my top 10, and we're, almost mid-April. So I
I,
don't know.
I mean I know there's some interesting movies coming up. I'm just waiting for like Mission Impossible and
Yeah.
Karate Kid Legends, whatever, and whatever else. Anyways, I know there's probably some good ones coming up. I'm waiting for it.
Surely. I know there's gonna be some good ones in store. For There's a lot of big ones that people are really excited about that I'm not. I have no plans to go see Superman.
I was gonna say Superman. That's a big one. Yeah.
0 plans to go see that, and I have no plans to watch Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
But I am gonna go see Thunderbolts. I got my ticket already.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see that.
So, definitely interested in the ballerina, and I'm interested
Oh,
in,
yes,
uh, Mission Impossible. Went from
yes.
February until oh,
It
oh,
went
I'm
from
sorry. I belong to
bad movie-
depression. I'm sorry. Oh, I've had some years that like last year, I had more disliked films than I did liked films, and
Oh,
I could have added even more to the list.
well, I tell you, Sin, I saw 50 movies last year, and I gave maybe 12 positive reviews or something, 13 positive
Yeah.
out of 50. I mean, I just very rarely,
Like, the
and I don't know if
quality of a
I'm just,
lot of writing is just oof.
and I know it's like I don't try to be negative, but I'm just at a point in my life, I guess, where my standards are like a certain or
Yeah.
something, and Hollywood just has not been doing very good lately. I don't know,
No, no,
and
most of the time. Unfortunately not. It's gotten kind of, lukewarm, lackluster a lot of films. So,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of good ones out there too.
I,
It's just a matter of finding them.
yeah, exactly. And I think part of that is just that Disney has been so bad lately, and superhero movies have been kind of bad lately, and
Hmm.
those are kind of movies that really have flooded the market lately.
Drive that, yeah, that's true.
And there's been too many of them, and they haven't been as great. I don't know, so that's kind of hurting the big blockbuster kind of
Yeah,
stuff. But I love Deadpool and Wolverine. That was one of my
I
favorites.
was that was my number one for last year.
Oh, it was your number one.
That was my number one. I had so much fun with that film.
It was in my top five. I remember that, but yeah. All right. Number 13. Okay, now we're going to talk about your YouTube channel a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, what got you started creating your YouTube channel?
So I kind of touched on it already. Grace Randolph was kind of an inspiration for me. I was like, well, if she can do trailer reactions, I can too. But the main reason that I started getting interested in it is because, so in my job, which deals with stories, and I love my job, but most of the story, and I was doing a lot more audiobook proofing at the time that I started my channel. Most of what I was working on, I wasn't a fan of
Yeah.
because the genre that we do, that most of our work involves, is lit RPG, which is, think Ready Player One, stories that take place in a game.
Sci-fi type stuff, I figured, but yeah.
It's kind of sci-fi fantasy, but like people end up in a game. Now, some of them have been freaking fantastic,
Okay.
fun things to work on. One of my favorites lit RPG or game lit type of book was called The Feedback Loop by Harmon Cooper. And it's about this guy who is stuck in a game and his day keeps repeating. So it has multiple elements that are like repeating days,
Yeah.
and the protagonist is just like a smart aleck, wisecracking dude. And it's just written so well. But most of the stuff I was working on, I was just like, "Oh, this is not, it's boring to me. It does not work for me. I don't like this genre very much." Surprisingly, a lot of our authors, when they find out I'm not a fan, they're like, "Really?" No, sorry, I'm not a fan of lit RPG, because to me, a lot of these stories, there's no real conflict. I don't care what happens in a game. I care what happens to the people in, like, the game stuff. I don't care unless it has something to do with some sort of transference into a reality thing that's going to create a real issue. It, I'm it bores me. And I was just like thirsty to talk about stories that really interested me. So that was the main reason that I started this iteration of my channel. I'd been doing movie reviews before on like my other one, and then I stopped, but I just want to talk about stories that interest me. And so I wasn't getting a lot of stories that interested me at that time. So I was like, well, I'll start my YouTube channel. And when I'm taking breaks from work, I'll do a reaction to a trailer and we'll talk about the story, so that's how that got started.
All right. That's cool. It's just grown, I guess, over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say you have like close to 20,000. Am I crazy or?
I hit the 20,000 the other day.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So yeah, I'm going to be a Rotten Tomato critic one day. Hopefully. No, it'll take a while. I swear.
That's amazing. I mean, I only have 360 subscribers myself, so to me, getting to 1,000 would be like a dream, you know?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It might seem weird to say this, but I don't feel like I'm a big YouTuber, because
Yeah.
statistically, I am,
Uh-huh.
but I don't feel like it. I still feel like I'm that YouTuber from the early days.
Okay.
The small, so like you think once you hit 1,000, oh wow, and then you can monetize, but you have all these other, you have to have your 4,000 watch hours and blah 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 blah. But then the monetization, it's it's pocket change, for unless you're someone like The Drinker or
Yeah.
Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman or, Film Threat. They probably do very well. They do a lot of live streaming.
Yeah.
Unless you're someone like that, being monetized is not necessarily going to
Yeah. Yeah.
do too much, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't really feel like I've changed in here as far as how I felt about my channel, which is I know it seems weird, but
You
it's
haven't
just the
got
way.
you haven't got too big headed yet.
Well, I don't feel like I hope I never will. I'm gonna say I don't think I ever will.
I know, because like when I like asked you to be on the channel, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm having somebody that has like 20,000 subscribers and she gets in the mail. Like, you're much bigger than I am. So to me,
Yeah, but
it's
see, I don't even look at it that way. I just like to talk with people about the stuff that we like,
yeah,
you know? I don't even think about, "Oh, well, they're a smaller channel than me, so I'm not gonna" no, I that just never even enters my brain. I just wanna talk with people
that's good.
about movies. Oh, I think I have 3 so far, Mike. Um, it's a given. We all know what number 1 is right now. I don't think that's gonna change.
Yeah.
But my second one might be it's probably Black Bag. I did really enjoy
Oh, really?
that, and I enjoyed Drop as well.
Okay, just
Um,
drop.
Drop has some problems, Drop has some problems in the 3rd act, but everything leading up to that was so enjoyable that thanks, Mike. It just feels like another day. I even stopped, like, like, I used to, "Oh, I'm at 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do this. I'm at 2,000, I'm gonna" and then now it's just like, "Eh, nah." Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I'm like I think I got the 360 or something like that, which I was like, all right.
You know what's
I want to get the
frustrating? Say that again?
like for me, it's just like I'm getting the 400.
Yeah, you get in there. It's annoying because YouTube, they used to let you monetize if you had more than 100,
Oh,
and
really?
if you've been up yeah, because my son had been monetized a long time ago, and he had earned, like once he got monetized, he wasn't, like, making huge bucks. He had, like, maybe 30 in his account, and then they changed the rules.
Oh, gosh.
And he only just now hit 1,000, but he doesn't have 4,000 watch hour and that was years ago, but he doesn't have the 4,000 watch hours, so good night, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks a
for
lot.
stopping in.
I know it's late over there. It's nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Aw, love you too, Mike.
Well,
It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you.
oh, yeah, Mike's
Yeah,
been so
he's a
great.
great guy. I was thinking about him the other day and how, and he had his wedding, and Dee
Yeah,
went over there, and Anthony, and Ryan, and I was like, "That is just the coolest, sweetest." I love it.
I know. He invited me, but it's too expensive
It's a
to.
bit of a yeah, I know it's a bit of a trek, but I'm glad the others were able to go.
I didn't go.
That's sweet.
One day, me and Mike will meet. I swear,
I know, Mike, you need to come to the US. You need to do all the hard work. Come over here. Let's all meet up at Dragon Con.
well, he comes to Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's probably the closest he'll come. But I can make the trek to Florida if he comes to Florida. That's
If Sound Booth Theater ever went to MegaCon in Florida, that would be so much fun because, like, if we could talk Mike into coming and
yeah.
Dee and Anthony, then we could all, like, have a meetup.
He got a lot of people there already. Kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Anthony is Anthony in Florida?
yeah, and
Okay, and Rashad?
Rashad's in Florida.
Yeah.
Ryan from
That'd
Ryan.
be cool.
Yeah, it was like
Who?
4 or 5 people. Ryan from Real Talks with Ryan.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that would
Uh,
be
yeah,
that'd be
there's like
cool.
5 or 6 people in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
one day. If I ever find out we're going to MegaCon in Florida, I'll put the word out and see, like, "Y'all wanna go to the con? Let's have coffee or something."
Oh, that'd be blast. Yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, the United States is big. I think in UK it's a little
Yes.
easier to get together. I see people get together in UK.
Yeah,
Like,
because you just
yeah,
drive an hour and you're in another country. No, I'm not I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
oh, I tell you, when I tell Mike that I drive like 45 minutes to get to work or something like that, he's like 45 minutes, like that's forever to him, and I'm like that's normal for
That
me.
used to be my commute when I worked out of the house, yeah. I would go
Yeah,
into the downtown area because I worked at a law office, and it was at least 40 to 45 minutes because of stupid traffic.
yeah, they're not used to driving that far, I guess, in England. Anyways, but all right. Number 14, what was your vision? I guess I'm talking, these are questions I'm reading off, but I know we've been talking about this stuff.
Yes, probably already touched on.
I'll read the question. We might have touched on it, but what was your vision for the channel and how has it changed? And I don't know if we've covered that, but
Well, my vision I felt like was a little nebulous in the beginning. I was just doing reactions to
right,
trailers.
right.
And
Yeah,
then it started to morph into reviews, and then there was that time where I was doing reaction to comedy and other stuff. So I don't, I honestly can't remember if I had it in the back of my brain that I wanted like do reviews. I think I'm pretty sure it was there somewhere, but it initially started off with reactions because I had done reviews before on that other channel and it was just so arduous. And I was like, well, I can at least react to trailers. That's easy enough, and can talk about that. And then I was like, yeah, but I really, really like to talk about movies that I've seen and do reviews. And so it's just morphed more into that.
yeah. Is that how you see the channel going forward, or?
Yeah, this is, I mean, some people have written and said, "Hey, I miss your comedy reactions," and I'm like, my heart's not really in that. It's especially now. It's just not like I. This is my favorite thing to do is to review movies, to talk about movies. That's
Yeah,
what I really love to do, and um, you know, maybe reaction videos would draw in a lot of views, but it wouldn't draw in the right type of view. Like those people, they don't give a crap what I think about movies. So I feel like it would just be an effort to try to draw in views, but they're not going to hang around to see my other stuff. So it almost feels like I would be faking out people that come to see my reactions, you know what I mean? So I just want to focus on what I really want oh my gosh, my channel to be centered around
yeah,
is, movie reviews, shows, whatever.
yeah, yeah. That's what you do good at.
Well, that's it. It's one of my talents. I talk a lot.
Let's see. Question 15. Do you have a favorite episode that you've done on your channel? Anything come in mind of like, wow, that was a great, uh,
You mean it's like as far as reviews?
yeah, or
'Cause that's
collaboration
like episode.
that you like did that you're like, wow, that was a really good,
Um, well, live streams are a little different from reviews, but one of the earliest live streams I did was with D. I remember when Halloween Kills came out.
okay.
And I had become aware of D because he'd been commenting on my videos. I reckon like the name D Movie Man. Oh, okay. He likes movies too. Subscribe. And he did a reaction to the Halloween Kills trailer. And it made me so excited, because I loved Halloween 2018. And I was like, oh, you know what would be really cool is let's have a live stream discussion. And so we had a live stream discussion. And I think one of my Facebook friends also joined that discussion. And we were all mutually very sad about how not good the movie was. And then we did it again the next year for Halloween Ends. So those are some like kind of good memories as far as even though it was terrible, it felt good to be able to bond over the terribleness of those movies.
Oh
And
yeah.
as far as some of my one of my favorite reviews probably is okay, I know I'm going to sound like a freaking broken record, but looking back on it, I really like my Better Man review
Oh yeah.
because I got into some deep stuff, talking about Robbie's struggles and his addictions and how, was something that I appreciated about that film was that it reminded me once again that these people that are in the spotlight, as frustrating as it might be to watch how idiotic they can act sometimes, it's easy to forget that they are human beings and they can have some very real struggles that we have no idea and stuff that's on them with all this attention, it's stuff that we will never have to deal with. And we have no idea the sort of pressure that can be on a person. So that's kind of, I guess, some of my more favorite reviews are when profound thoughts just kind of come out of me while I'm talking. I was like, yeah, that was actually kind of interesting the way that came out. So I don't know. It sounds like I'm kind of tooting my horn there, but those are some of my favorites. Like when things like that just really hit me hard. Those I like. And then of course, my ranty ones, I watch them later, I'm like, well, I was really pissed and I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah.
Those are funny just because of how annoyed I get. I can, and my son gets really tickled at them. He thinks they're pretty funny.
Well, I mean, I hated Joker 2. It was number 2 on my
That was
worst.
my number one worst.
Madam Web was number 1, and then Joker 2 was number 2.
Madam
And
Web was bad, yes.
yeah, and then when you went on Joker 2, I was like, yes, I totally understand. Like I'm totally with you on everything you said. I was like, I totally agree with all.
Oh my gosh.
So
And I was willing to give that movie a chance. But see, I refuse to watch other movies that I know would piss me off. And so, like Amelia Perez, nope, no, thank you very much.
that was
Nope,
hot.
nope, nope. So, and Snow White, nope.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh well.
All right. 16. I'm interested in this one. I have some ideas. What famous person would you most like to have on your channel?
I mean, you can't
Would it be
see him.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, there he is.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger. My first guess on
Yeah,
that.
because sorry, I screwed up the camera. Because of how influential he's been for me. Yeah, probably him. That will never ever happen. But yeah, he's had such a profound effect on me just without even knowing it. That yeah, most likely him. I would love to have Linda Hamilton on my channel.
Oh yeah,
That
very
would
good.
be cool. Like
Oh,
she would be, because she's a kind of on up there too. She didn't have the same influence on me that he
yeah.
did, but her performance in all right, Levi. Sorry, got a dog. Wants to get in my lap. Her performance in T2 was very inspirational.
Huh?
And then, come on, babe, come on. Okay, here we go. Here's my other one. And then meeting her last year was just so great. It's like, she'd be really cool to talk with on my channel.
Yeah, I guess so. I can't think I've seen too much of her outside of Terminator, maybe, but
She's been in a lot of different stuff. Chris Gore would be fun to have on my channel, but that little stinker, um, I invited him on my channel, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to." Yeah, and I've said this to his face, so he knows. Um, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I keep, I'm on all these other channels, and I really want to focus on film. I was like, it's okay, it's cool. I just thought it'd be kind of fun because I'd seen him on other channels. Lo and behold, that stinker goes around and he's like on the Drinkers channel, he's on Nerd Erotics channel. And
oh, I see.
so, so when I saw him last year, because I've seen Chris through at least 3 times already, and
Yeah.
last year was the second time I'd seen him, and that was in California. We had a movie night with Paulie from Latino Slant and Chris and Dante with Verbal Riot, Baggage Claim, and I
Okay.
told him I had a bone to pick with him. Have a bone to pick with you. And then I refreshed his memory. I invited you to be on my channel. And you're like, oh, you're going to focus on Film Threat. And then here you are. You're on like all these other channels. And then he tried to diffuse the situation by saying, I want to have you on Versus, but it needs to be the right movie. That's like been more than a year ago,
Oh, that'd
Chris
be
Gore. And
fun.
he has not invited
Yeah, or invite Sven. Awesome. I
I mean,
watched.
I'd love to have Chris on. I love to talk to Chris because Chris
Oh
is
yeah,
exactly the same in real life as he is on his show. He's a lot of fun and he loves movies. And so he'd be fun to talk with on my channel.
oh he'd be great. He's got such a. I like his perspective a lot of times on movies because if you don't know me, I come from a very conservative background, and
Yeah.
so I watched The Critical Drinker, I watched Nerdrotic, I watch all these more I would say conservative
Yeah. Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Uh, because I kind of and they do hate watch. You talked about hate
They
watch.
definitely do. Nerd Erotic and Drinker, they definitely
Oh,
do.
they hate
I
watch.
I
but
tried to talk Drinker into watching Better Man,
uh,
and he said to me, "Why could think of better things to do than watch like a movie about Robbie Williams or whatever." Because he's a Brit. I mean, he's Scottish, so he would know. And
yeah,
but then he'll watch all these movies that he cannot stand, and so I pop up in his comments. And he wasn't ugly when he said it to me because we've interacted before privately. He was fine. But when he sees something that he hates and he knows he's going to hate it, I'm like, should have watched Better Man. Just saying. Like, why do you torture yourself watching movies that you know you're not going to like? But yeah, I like to watch Chris and Alan because they don't hate watch. And they
yeah,
do watch these movies and they like to just talk about them. And I
yeah,
really I do appreciate their perspective, even if I don't always agree, with their thoughts on different films. They're still fun to listen to because, like I said, it just goes back to being excited about hearing people talk about movies because then it makes me excited about watching movies, you know?
yeah. He does appear on Critical Drinker and Nerd Rock, and they do hate watch on those. But
Yes, yes, they most certainly do.
it, I watch it because it's entertaining, and I kind of agree with them a lot of times when they.
I do agree with them. That's the thing. It's not that I disagree with
Yeah,
I agree with them more often than not, but it's just like,
it's like
well, okay, this is their niche.
yeah,
The hate watching, it
yeah,
draws in a lot of stuff and that's their thing, but for me, I would burn out on that because I want to enjoy what I'm watching.
yeah. That's what gets me. Sometimes I always think, gosh, don't they enjoy anything? Because it gets kind of depressing when I'm listening and going, surely there's something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like some of them, like Mahler hates everything. Little Noon, uh, Chad from Night's Watch, all those people, but Disparu, yeah, and
Yeah, it's not.
because like I'm with them on Disney stuff usually, because I'm like, yeah, this Disney stuff is terrible.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Yeah, and the Star Wars stuff, the Marvel stuff has just
Mhm.
been terrible lately. So I'm kind of with
Yep.
them on that. Except I did like Captain America: Brave New World, and they crapped all over it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
see, I actually like that. I don't hate everything. I like,
Yeah, there have been like I enjoyed Black Widow. I completely
yeah,
got the
yeah,
negative commentary about it with regard to Taskmaster,
yeah, yeah. That was
but to me, I felt like sometimes there were some inconsistent criticisms about it where
yeah,
those criticisms they wouldn't carry over to another movie that maybe they liked where a very similar situation happened. It's like, well, it's okay because you liked this movie. You didn't criticize this particular thing that happened in this movie that you didn't like. Anyway, whatever. Um, I enjoyed Black Widow more than I thought I would. It's not the best of the Marvels,
it was
but
fine.
yeah, they definitely hated all of those.
Well, even the
But
Chris
Marvel,
did a video hating the Gorge, and I really liked the Gorge, but
I like the first half of the Gorge. I didn't hate the Gorge, so but to me the second half of it just felt a little bit generic and kind of we've done this before, and I wish the reveal had been a little bit more like interesting or exciting, and it just started to feel a little formulaic after that. But I really enjoyed the first half of it.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, that's our rant. I guess. Yeah. But yeah, talking about Chris Gore, but yeah, he again, I like his perspective because he comes from a more conservative perspective, and he always sees movies way before anybody else does. So he's always the first person I hear talk about a movie. I'm like,
Yeah, he went to go see The Accountant the other day.
oh, okay,
I was like, "You lucky stinker."
I know.
I'm so jealous.
I'm like, I'm not gonna see that movie for another week or two. Like he's
I
talking.
know, 'cause that comes out in a couple weeks. Well, The Accountant too, which I'm looking forward to that. I need to rewatch the first one.
Yeah, I like to see that one. Anyways, uh, number 17 question. Uh, who would you want to play you in your own biopic?
Oh god. Lord, what? Number 1, I don't have an interesting enough life to have a biopic about my life.
You're a famous YouTuber. Yeah.
I'm not famous. Oh gosh. I don't know. Now that's a question I probably can't answer. Not because I don't want to, but just I can't think of any. I don't know. I can't think of.
Mm.
I can't think of anyone
Yeah,
because
Lynn
I can't.
might be a little too old for the role, so
She's a
go for that.
little too old for the role, but like my life is boring, Jason. It's not super exciting. So, number one, I wouldn't even watch a biopic about my life.
I mean, you pick like a Scarlett Johansson or something would fit in, right?
I honestly can't. I can't think of anybody.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody that has a personality similar to me. Because most people in Hollywood are very, very far left leaning, and that's not
Oh,
my slant.
100%. Yeah.
So I can't and not I just don't think I have a life that would be worth making a biopic about. That would be a waste of money. Don't do it, Hollywood. But you seem to like throwing money away, so have at it then.
Oh, you could have what's her name? The girl from the first Deadpool movie.
She was in second. You talking about Monica Baccarin or Morena Baccarin?
Oh, that'd be a good one. Uh,
What first Deadpool?
well,
Who?
that's probably a better pick than I was thinking.
Oh,
I,
who were you thinking? Because now I'm trying to think.
I was thinking of the muscle bound girl that was.
Gina Carano.
That's Gina.
Oh.
There you go, Gina.
Gina Carano. I like Gina. She seems like a very lovely person.
Yeah, I like. uh, Number 18. What do you feel has been your proudest moment in your life?
Being able to have kids,
Uh
like making another human being.
huh. Making a yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can
That is
you just
something.
imagine? Like, that's just crazy. And I don't necessarily feel proud about this, but it was an accomplishment that, it was certainly challenging homeschooling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the main thing I can think about right now.
Yeah. Good things to be proud of.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't have any kids, so I don't have that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's a challenge, especially when you're homeschooling and then you eventually put it together that your son is dyslexic. And
Oh, yeah.
now it makes sense why he could read a
Right.
word on one page and then the next page he doesn't know what the heck it is. You know.
Right. Yeah.
That was a frustrating time, I'll tell you. Kind of scary too, but
hmm
yeah.
Um, Number 19. What's number one on your bucket list? What's something you haven't done that you really want to do? I guess.
Oh, what I've done. That Transformers song came through my head from Linkin Park.
Linkin Park.
Yeah, that song. Okay, hold on, Chippy. Let me think. Do you want to get up here or not? Oh, she's just running in circles. Um, I can't. I don't know because like right now when I think about things that I want to happen in the future, I'm mostly thinking about it related to my channel.
hmm
I want to be a Rotten Tomatoes critic. I want to be a Critics' Choice critic.
Yeah.
That sort of
Good.
thing.
Yeah, be a
Um,
sales trigger. That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, that's the main thing. But I can't think of anything else as far as bucket list because I don't have any real burning like, okay, it would be really fun to meet all you guys or a lot of you guys in Florida, like those sorts of things would be bucket listy for me.
That would be fun.
Yeah. But like other things like, oh, I would like to take a cruise around the world. No,
Right, right, yeah.
no, it's not my thing. I don't care.
Okay.
Too much work to have to pack to go on the
You're all about packing. Everything's got to pack. I'm
so
like,
annoying.
yeah, I guess you do. I didn't think about it.
It's
Yeah,
annoying.
it's
Oh gosh.
well, I've been here about 3 times, so I know it's like take those uh, long plane rides. Yeah, and you have to pack and yeah,
Yeah, it's like
and
and
then
I
things
go
go anyways.
just and like so also another thing that's annoying for me is so when I've gone to Vegas 3 years in a row for work.
Okay,
I hate Vegas, don't like it. Smell of pot is everywhere, can't stand it.
okay,
But when I so I pack, I don't check bags, so I have to fit everything into my carry-on and my personal. And so not only do I have to pack enough clothes for 5 days worth of Monday through Friday work there, but I pack a lot of food to take with me because I eat a certain way. Like I number 1, I'm not gonna buy out. I'm not gonna eat out all the time. It's terribly expensive in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Then they don't have coffee makers in their rooms because they want you to buy freaking coffee for $7 a cup. So I take my percolator with me and my coffee. And it's like all these foodstuffs I have to pack with me in addition to my clothes and my computer and all my cords and all this. And ugh, yeah, it's such a hassle. This is why so I do it for work. Why would I want to do that for fun? Oh, no.
Right. Yeah. Because for me,
Whatever.
funny because I always ask that question. Curious what people think about what's a bucket list. Because to me, it's like bucket list is I want to go see, Paris, France. I want to go see Rome, Italy. I want to,
Mm,
that's what I think about. It's like I want to see all these different places I've
yeah.
been before, but you're the opposite. You're like,
Yep, have zero desire.
I don't
Like,
want to
if
go.
it was just outside my doorstep, maybe, but it's gonna involve all this travel and all this. No, thank you. I have too many other things to do.
Yeah. All right. 20th and last question
Okay.
on the questions is what would you like your legacy to be? Your legacy of your channel, I guess, in other words.
Um, a relatable movie critic.
Yeah.
Someone who kinda sounds like, because I am, just a regular movie lover.
Yeah.
That's kind of how, I could make myself more polished. No, I don't want to because I don't have time. But it's also completely against my nature to do something like read off a teleprompter, and I can't perform. So I just wanna be known as someone who I have presented myself as just an honest movie lover who talks the same way about movies, on my channel as I do if I would meet you in real life and we're talking about movies. That's about the only thing I think I can think of for that question.
That's an interesting point you make about because I'm just not thinking in my mind like I suppose yeah if you got really famous and big the channel and being that it's like would that affect you you know in some way and I suppose it does and that you just I mean that's the thing when channels get big they don't have time to talk to people as much because they just got too many
Yeah. Yeah,
there's
it's too much. Yeah. Everybody wants a piece of you, you
too
know?
many subscribers to you can't talk to all so then
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
you lose that because I love talking like I love channels like yours and Mike's and other people that when I comment and they reply to me I get so excited I'm like oh they replied to my comment you know I appreciate it and I try to I try to reply to anybody's comment on my channel
I
and
try to, but it's a challenge.
that's something you can do if you have a small enough channel but once it gets
Yeah.
big then you can't do that and that kind of sucks when you lose that I suppose maybe I don't know
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the
like if you get thousands and thousands of yeah, it's
yeah
and I don't get that many, but on a video, but like a lot of times I will see a comment, like I'll get a notification in my email and I'll see it and it's like, "Oh, I like that. I want to respond to that because, they've asked me something interesting and then I will forget because I get caught up in just work and other stuff. And then when you go in your YouTube studio, you don't always see maybe a comment that you saw last week. You have to go digging for it.
yeah
And then I feel like I'm just so behind. And I
right
do like being able to interact. That's the whole reason that I started the channel because I wanted to talk about stories that I like. And I like talking about them with the people that want to. So yeah, you know, people like the drinker have gotten so big. He just cannot.
millions yeah they can
Even if he wanted to, which he probably doesn't because a lot of people on there agree with him, but he does have a lot of haters. So,
sure
you
sure
know.
I'm sure, but yeah,
Mm.
that is interesting to think about. Yeah, what I don't know if it would mean some people would you know, would start small, and then when they get bigger, they would have to make compromises to their channel. that they wouldn't earlier. I wonder, if that happens.
You mean like how they do videos or how they interact with people?
Like they might be pressured to like certain things and not like certain things.
Oh,
What I mean?
yeah.
This
Yeah.
industry to like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
You
Um,
know, I for myself and I don't if I ever got to like let's say drinker levels, which I never will, but if I ever did, I would like to think that I would still maintain my sense of self, the things that I like, and that I would still continue to be honest in
mhm.
my,
Right. Yeah.
commentary on things. There are some this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing about being like a movie critic. If you like a movie or yeah, like okay, I'll give you an example, Disney. So we know that they put out a lot of crap over the years. Like their quality is just down in the gutter for a lot of stuff. But every once in a while, there'll be something that's not that bad. And if you like it, sometimes some of the really ridiculous comments you get, well, you're just a paid shill for Disney.
Yeah.
I wish,
I know. I was like, I
you
wish.
know, I could pay for a lot of movies if Disney was, paying my way. But that's like the crazy thing is like some people think if you like something or hate something, it's because of this or that. You hate this because you're a racist or you're a misogynist, you're a self-hating misogynist or a self-hating woman, whatever, like it's like nuance doesn't enter into people's brains sometimes, a lot of times on social media, which is kind of funny. But no, I'm not. I mean, I get access to certain things, but that does not mean. And if I don't like something, I don't like it. And Disney has let me see several things. Like I saw Echo, the first 3 episodes of Echo, and it was terrible. It was absolutely awful, and I gave it a terrible review. And then
Yeah.
I saw a charming little animated series called Iwaju. Takes place in Africa. It's on Disney. Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. I thought it was sweet, and I said so. I'll give them credit if they put out something that I feel is
Yeah.
decent. So, just take them, each movie or show at a time.
Yeah. I guess Jeremy Johns even has he uh he reviewed a Daily Wire movie or something.
Yes, am I racist?
I think he got a lot of hate for it, which
He got a yes.
I appreciated that his channel, his big as his reviewed a movie like that was kind of neat.
And kudos to Jeremy Johns because that's what convinced me to watch it. Because I really had no interest. It's like, okay, I know the messaging and I'm gonna agree with it because I'm in line with the what was presented. I'm in line with the mindset of what was presented, but I had no interest. But then Jeremy did it. I was like, "Oh, look," and he got it. Oof, the hate he got. It was so absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, "Well, I'm gonna watch it too." Kind of in solidarity with Jeremy, even though Jeremy has no idea who the hell I am. But I just like he's a fellow movie critic and he
Yeah.
did this thing because that's what he does, you
Well,
know?
because a lot of critics wouldn't review it, so
Yeah, wasn't that interesting?
it was nice to see someone did, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was I
yeah,
appreciate him doing that.
doing that, But yeah. Anyways, I can go on and on, Sin, but
I know, so could I.
we're done with the 20 questions. You hot seat of the channel, and how'd you like the? It was okay.
It was fun. I talked your head off, sorry.
That's great.
I
That's,
told you it's one of the things I do.
that's what's fun about this is like it's more trying to get to know people and connect with people on YouTube and
Yeah.
have cool conversations like this and kind of pick people's brains and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Uh,
fun. Yeah, I enjoy it.
yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. It was fun.
Oh yeah, because you commented really good on my channel, and so I thought, gosh, I really like to see Sin on the channel. She leads,
Well,
and so I was happy you said yes.
oh, of course. I've never said no. Like, no, I won't. The only time I would say no is like, oh, that day won't work because I'll be out of state, that, but I never say no, I'm not gonna because the movie loving crowd that I run with on YouTube, they're all great folks. And I try to support all my friends as much as I can. I have so many channels I follow, and I feel
Right.
bad that I can't watch everything, but I
And
try, you
yeah, yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, it's hard to catch
It
everything.
is. Yeah, it is.
Sure. But yeah, your channels, of course, Sin's Corner, CYNCORNER, I guess.
It's real easy, just Sin's Corner. Yeah.
Sin's Corner. Yeah, great channel, movie reviews and all that. Do you have anything you want to plug before we go, or
Uh, well, I my review for The Amateur went up today.
that's the
Yester Yeah, the one with Rami Malek.
yeah.
And which is based on a book, by the way, which I didn't know that. And they made a movie of it. Like in the early 80s it came out.
Oh,
And
okay.
they made a movie, had Christopher Plummer in it and
Um,
John Savage, maybe. Anyway, so now I'm interested to watch that. I'm going to try to get my review for Drop out for tomorrow.
okay.
And like yeah, get it out tomorrow. I saw it. It was the mystery movie on Monday.
No, okay.
And I'm going to go see Warfare tomorrow, and so hopefully have a review out for that early next week. That's the immediate stuff that's coming up.
All right. So
Yeah.
definitely check out those reviews on Sin's Corner, and thank you so much for coming on the channel. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, being the first female guest is
Woohoo.
on my channel. Uh, so besides that, thank you so much, and thank you for everybody commenting. Thank you, Mike and
Yeah.
Jay, and
Yeah.
appreciate you guys commenting and watching. Everybody watching, yeah, thank you so much. And besides that, we will see you later.
Adios.